When the hockey gods end a point streak, a window opens for another. And that's exactly what happened with the Bruins last night. Coming off a loss to Carolina, they bounced back and took 2 points from the Ottawa Senators, with Brad Marchand setting a huge milestone. We're going to talk about how they can finish strong before the All-Star break, coming up on a brand new episode of Locked On Boston Bruins.
You're Locked On Bruins, your daily podcast on the Boston Bruins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Bruins fans, and welcome back to the Locked On Boston Bruins podcast. I'm your host, Ian McLaren, and this is a daily show where we discuss all things Spoked B. Today is Friday, January 26th, and I want to thank you so much for making Locked On Bruins part of your daily routine. Free and available on your favorite podcast app and on YouTube. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. Today on the pod, we're going to discuss last night's win over the Ottawa Senators, preview tomorrow's game against the Philadelphia Flyers, and talk about how it's a good time for the Bruins to get a break. I'll be taking a mini break as well. A quick programming note to begin. Monday, Tuesday of next week, there will be no podcasts as the fam and I are off to a water park resort in Niagara Falls. Get in. All right. Quick reminder as well, you can find the podcast on social media at Locked NHL Bruins. You can find me at Ian C. McLaren. Things looked pretty good for the Boston Bruins last night in Ottawa. They were coming off a late game regulation loss to the Carolina Hurricanes. Jordan Martinook scoring on the breakaway to get the regulation win over Boston on Wednesday. The Bruins went up 2-0 in their game against Ottawa on Thursday, thanks to an absolute clapper from David Pastrnak, his 31st goal of the season. Trent Frederick scored his 14th to make it 2-0 just about midway through the second period. And the Bruins looked to be cruising, except for the fact that it was a bit of a ref show, and the Ottawa Senators had plenty of opportunities on the man advantage. The Bruins were charged with 18 penalty minutes. And the Senators had 6 power play opportunities. They cashed in on both to tie the game at 2 in the third period. Thomas Chabot late in the second, and Vladimir Tarasenko in the third, 16:42 of the third period, to be precise, after Parker Wotherspoon was charged with cross-checking Parker Kelly. Parker on Parker violence there. Thankfully, Brad Marchand came up big in overtime, scoring the winner off a feed from Charlie Coyle, a snapshot that put him in sole possession of 5th place on the all-time Bruins goals scored list. He is now 1 up on Ray Bourque and only 6 back of Rick Middleton for 4th place. The top 3, Patrice Bergeron at 427, Phil Esposito at 459, Johnny Busick at 545, Brad Marchand 149 back at 396, Rick Middleton at 402. A major accomplishment for Brad Marchand, whose career arc is just, I don't want to say Hollywood-esque, but pretty unbelievable when you think about it. He came in, not the most highly touted prospect, but he made an impact as a rookie. But his reputation, and well-deserved early on, was as an agitator. But over the years, his offensive game has just grown leaps and bounds, and he remains one of the premier left wingers in the game at age 35. He kind of topped out perhaps with a 100-point season back in 2018, 2019, but he had 87 points the year after, 85 in each of the previous 2 years leading into that. 69 points in 53 games in the COVID shortened season, 80 points in 21-22. Took a bit of a step back last year because he was recovering from double offseason hip surgery, but still had 67 points in 73 games. Now he's almost at a point per game once again with 24 goals, 23 assists for 47 points in 48 games at age 35 and taken on the captaincy as well, which comes with some extra pressure. Marchand said it's special, the milestone. He said he tries not to think too much about it, but it is special. Never thought his career would come this far. Some of the things that have gone on would have happened, to be able to shake off that role as a rat agitator, oft suspended. Extremely fortunate, very lucky to be part of a group that's had a lot of success and a lot of phenomenal guys to learn from. End quote there. So huge congratulations to one-time Locked On Boston Bruins guest, Brad Marchand. If you haven't heard that interview, go back and check that out from last year. And very well-deserved honor for Brad Marchand to be recognized as one of the great Bruins in history in the centennial, to pass Ray Bourque, who still holds the record for points. And let's be honest, David Pastrnak is going to catch and pass Marchand and Middleton, Bergeron, Esposito pretty soon. He's at 332 already, and shouldn't be long until he catches and eclipses Brad Marchand with a couple more 50-goal seasons. But for the time being, Marchand 5th, and very well deserved. And his latest goal, of course, was the game winner last night, propelling the Bruins to victory in a game that almost got away from them. And it happened the other night. Marchand said they were going to learn from it and realize that every point matters. He said it again last night. He's on a 4-game goal streak now, I should add. And he said, these are the games you need to learn how to win going down the stretch. Every team is playing well. Even if you're out of the playoff spot, players still want to make positive impressions moving forward. And the Senators, he said, are better than what their record is. And to be able to get the 2 points after the loss on the second of a back-to-back was huge for the Boston Bruins. No matter who the opponent was, you got to secure those 2 points. All right, we're going to talk about Trent Frederic and perhaps why it's a good time for the Bruins to get a bit of a break here as the podcast continues. If you're hiring in 2024, then there's no better place to attract quality candidates than on Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. And they don't just help you hire faster. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/lockedon. Just go to Indeed.com/lockedon right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on Locked On Boston Bruins. That's Indeed.com/lockedon. Terms and conditions do apply, but if you need to hire in 2024, then you absolutely need Indeed. FanDuel is also the place you need to be if you want to make your next wager on a sporting event. Right now, New customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. With the NFL in full swing this weekend, NFL playoffs, you want to get in on the action right now. All you have to do is place a $5 bet and you'll get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed, win or lose. The app is so easy to use and there's so many different ways to bet, like live same game parlays, their new Explore tab to find bets, a Parlay Hub, which is the best way to find popular parlays, and more. It's not just for the NFL either. You can get in there for NHL and NBA as well. Visit fanduel.com/lockedon and make your first bet a layup at FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL. Thank you so much once again for making Locked On Boston Bruins part of your daily routine, free and available on your favorite podcast app and on YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, Locked On has recently launched the first ever 24/7 national sports streaming show on YouTube. It's called Locked On Sports Today. And over there, you can get a constant feed of updates from our local shows and our national shows covering every league. Go to Locked On Sports Today on YouTube and subscribe to the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel. All right, I mentioned Trent Frederick scored again last night. He's up to 14 goals, 14 assists for 28 points. Just wanted to point out how he is well on pace to setting new career highs. He's already matched his career high in assists at 14. He's 3 off his high for goals, which was set last season at 17. Currently on pace for 24 goals, 24 assists for a total of 48 points, which would smash his mark set last year of 31. He had 17 goals, 14 assists. He's already at 28 points this season with 14 goals, 14 assists. One slight caveat, he is shooting 19.4%, which is above last year, almost 5.2% above his success rate from last year, and well above his career mark of 12.1. So it's possible he'll slow down a little bit, but he's also proving to be a driver on whatever line he's on, and, should be probably in the top 6 at this point. Now, it was mentioned this morning on Twitter by Steve Conroy of the Boston Herald that perhaps it's a good time for David Pastrnak to get a bit of a break. He did have a goal and a secondary assist, but he did not play in overtime, and he's looking like a guy who could need a bit of a break. Now, he is due to be in Toronto for the All-Star festivities, but the Bruins play Saturday, and then they're off for a while, and Pastrnak will hopefully get at least Monday to Thursday to recharge his batteries. He was third last night in total ice time, 17 minutes and 50 seconds. Did have a couple shots, a couple hits, but he did get penalized a couple times as well, which is perhaps a sign that he is behind the play a little bit. Caught tripping Brady Tkachuk. He hooked Jake Sanderson. So hopefully he can get a bit of a break here, and while won't get the full time off because of the All-Star festivities, still hoping that he can chill a little bit there between sessions. The Bruins playing Saturday against the Flyers in Philadelphia, and then they as a team will be off until February 6th when they will host the Calgary Flames, and it's actually a 7-game homestand coming up here. They don't hit the road again until February 21st. So a good rest for this team, some home cooking for more than 2 weeks, and should be a good reset for this team. They won't have it easy per se, but They got Calgary, Vancouver, Washington, Tampa, Seattle, LA, and Dallas on that homestand. But still, be nice for them to be at home for some time after getting this break. As they head into the break, right now they are currently first in the Atlantic. They have a 7-point cushion on Florida, although the Panthers have a game in hand. In the East, same thing. Florida's second place. The Rangers are third, and they are 8 points back of the Bruins. League-wide, the Bruins sit in a tie for first with the Vancouver Canucks, 69 points, a 719 point percentage. They're second in goal differential as well, and they have a real opportunity to finish off strong against the Philadelphia Flyers, a game that will take place tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 p.m. And it's a game I'll preview here as the podcast continues. If you want to make your ride an MVP, there's no better place than eBay Motors. eBay Motors has every part you could possibly need to improve your ride. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights. Whether you're into speed, power, style, eBay Motors has you covered. They have over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, and you'll always find exactly what you're looking for with the eBay Guaranteed Fit. It's guaranteed to fit or your money back. That's for U.S. customers only. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, turn your car into the MVP and bring home the win. Check out ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions do apply. Bruins, Flyers, tomorrow afternoon, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be busy helping host a basketball event for one of my kids, but I will be there watching as well. The power of Wi-Fi, mobile devices. It's the first of 3 meetings between the Flyers and the Bruins this season. Flyers are one of the surprise teams this year, but they are riding a 4-game losing streak. So they no doubt will be looking to make a statement against the top team in the East, heading into the break, wanting to finish strong and make a positive impression. Now, they've been reeling a little bit this week, perhaps in part due to Carter Hart taking a leave of absence. He is allegedly, one of the 2018 World Junior 5 that required to present themselves to London, Ontario police in relation to a sexual assault investigation. So that, I'm sure, has an impact on the team as a whole and the organization. They're riding a 4-game losing streak. They were shut out last night by the Detroit Red Wings. And again, we'll be looking to make a positive impression here heading into the break. Cam Atkinson, the veteran, leads the way with 7 points over their last 5 games. Morgan Frost with 6 assists. Owen Tippett just signed a contract extension here on Friday morning, and he'll be looking to show that he's worth that commitment as well. In Hart's absence, the Flyers have Samuel Ersson in net. He's got a 12-8-3 record with a .902 save percentage, so he's been playing pretty well. Cal Peterson was called up as the backup. They're led in scoring by Travis Konechny, Joel Farabee, who I grabbed in fantasy. He's been performing very well. Sean Couturier with a bit of a renaissance as well as a potential Selke candidate. They're exceeding expectations this season under John Tortorella. Now, their offense is a bit stunted. They rank 25th with 2.88 goals per game. Their defense is pretty solid, though, 10th at 2.86 goals allowed per game. Boston's penalty kill has slipped to 9th, but they should have an easier go against Philadelphia's 29th ranked power play. Their penalty kill, though, is very strong, ranked second. Boston's power play is currently ranked fourth. Should be a spirited affair, although, afternoon games aren't always the most exciting. But again, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Bruins, Flyers, and both teams will be looking to head into the All-Star break and the bye week on a high note. Bruins are 6-1-3 over their last 10. The Flyers are 5-5. They've lost 4 in a row. Their goal differential is only +3. Perhaps they're coming back down to earth a little bit, and they're being chased in the playoff race by the Devils, the Islanders, even the Capitals are within striking distance. The Penguins, well back of them. It's pretty wide open Metropolitan Division. The Flyers currently third in the Metro with New Jersey and the Islanders hot on their tails in the race for a playoff spot. So a lot on the line here, and should be interesting to see how it plays out. Again, I'll be off Monday, Tuesday next week, so we'll talk about what happens in this game. If there's something huge, I'll post a short on YouTube about it. If not, I'll be back next Wednesday to discuss the Bruins at the All-Star break and tee up what's coming here as we look ahead to February, the trade deadline, playoffs, etc. Hopefully, we're in for a longer run than we got last year. All right, thanks so much, friends, for taking the time to listen, for checking it out. Please do subscribe if you have not already, and we'll catch you again here soon on Locked On Boston Bruins, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your favorite team every single day. Peace.